Another thing I would have thought would have been funny if they added in the game, where if I had a bit where during that one, the confusion ending when you get lost, wouldn't it be funny if you go into this thing and it looks like a recording, like a recording studio, and you look in the
All of
window
his
and you
co-workers
see
were
the
gone.
narrator?
What could it mean?
I think that would have
Stanley
been funny.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed it.
And then he sort of runs over to the big reset button, pushes it, and then restarts because he kind of freaks out. And I don't think he's going to appear on this
Just
one.
a step through. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
There he
simply missed
is.
a memo.
Actually, that almost spooked me. I guess I was in the mood that he wasn't going to appear. Anyways, about that character, a lot of people say, "Ooh, it's another coworker. He's not alone." I kind of think that's Stanley himself. Like that's Stanley, because in other parts of the game, you actually that does look like Stanley from the behind and all that side. I guess I think that's Stanley. Maybe it is like officially supposed to be another coworker, but it kind of looks. I think it's looks a little much like Stanley to me. Anyways, I'll show you the other bit. Okay, so basically, what you need to do is you need to find, like, these are my games. You like them? You need to find Stanley Parable. This is the original mod. It's not going to work on that one. Stanley Parable, properties, set launch options, and then type in, I think, dev console. I think I'm spelling that right. We'll find out if it glitches out when I start it up. And then what you do is you hit play, and this is what happens. Basically, what happens is you're given access to a developer console. Now, of course, this really I turn it off, the dev console thing, because this annoying thing comes up, all this sort of raw data, like failure to load models, such and such. You know, it just doesn't look good in for like if I let someone else play it. Actually, that's another thing. Am I legally allowed to let someone else play these Steam games on my account? And it's something I'm not 100% certain of. Because, you know, I can understand using my account to install games on other people's machines. That's definitely illegal. But this is a game that I purchased the license for. And, I mean, am I legally allowed to play it? Let others play it on, as long as it's on my machine and I'm supervising them. That's the thing I'm wondering about. If it's illegal, let me know, and I'll have to make a few changes in my life. Anyways,
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
what happens is you're given this console. Let's put SV cheats on. Whoa, what's going on here? I actually played this. I'm not actually.
Stanley, this is me being serious. In fact, this is my serious room. It's where I come to be serious. That table is the most serious table I could find. I looked at many, many tables, hundreds of tables. It's possible I looked at over 1,000 tables. I honestly don't know. The specific number isn't as important as the understanding that of all tables I looked at, this one is the most serious. I relate this story to impress upon you the extent to which this is the most serious room I have, which is why I brought you here. You just tried to activate server cheats, which of course runs the risk of breaking the entire game. You've got no respect for the strict order of scripted narrative events, and I just can't have that. It's time to get serious, Stanley. No jokes, no games. Outside of this room, I might be more tolerant of those things, but now we're in the room. Which is why I'm subjecting you to the most serious punishment I can think of. 100 billion trillion years standing here in the serious room. Perhaps after that, we can talk about the severity of your actions and whether you've learned anything. But until then, serious room, go.
Now, I have a question. Is the game, and I know obviously the answer is going to be that the computer itself isn't going to exist in a billion trillion years. It's going to just sort of decompose into like whatever. But is the game actually scripted to give some sort of narration at the end of the billion trillion years? Like, you know, because you never know with this game. There's another thing, and I'm not going to do this because I don't have the insanity to try this. The baby game where you push the button, if you actually have to play that for literally 4 hours, and then you get this sort of other ending. I've seen it on YouTube. You can find it, where a couple things happen. Then the narrator comes in, gives you a few pieces of dialogue, and then at one point you add a he has a puppy, so you have to sort of push two buttons, and they're not close by. You have to run and push the puppies being lowered into a thing of piranhas, and then eventually you get this thing where it looks like a monolith from 2001: Space Odyssey. I said Space Oddity, and it sort of sells like it says, "I am the god of art, appreciate." I'm not sure what it says, but yeah. Anyways, so yeah, let's try putting the cheats on again. Now that we had this laugh. Oh,
Whoa! Did we not have the talk? Are we not in the serious room this very moment? Did I not tell you how many tables I looked through? I'm going to be conservative and say it was somewhere in the tens of thousands of tables. Any reasonable person would say I spent an absurd amount of time doing nothing but looking at tables, and I genuinely considered each one too. I took a hell of a lot of notes. I kept the notes in a different room. That room is less serious than this one. It's more of a notes room. Again, the point of this story is to convey how serious I feel this cheating issue is. And I'm sure you'll agree with me once you've fulfilled your new punishment. Infinity years in the serious room. I generally have trouble reading human emotions, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that you're devastated by this crippling new punishment. As well you should be. It's the most serious I could think of. Can you get more serious than that? No, you can't. Don't try.
I'm not sure if he says anything else.
Still no effect. The problem is clearly the serious room. It isn't serious enough. That's on me, Stanley. I apologize. I'm going to the store to look through more tables. Hopefully I find one that conveys how wrong what you're doing is. Now, where did I put those notes?
And I don't think there's any dialogue. But the thing is, it doesn't work because, those classic cheats that usually work with SV cheats, those don't work. There is a way to get them to work. I think I saw a video of one guy, but I didn't actually bother to take the time to do it because I really wasn't really interested. But anyways, that's it for the Stanley Parable. Thanks very much for watching, and yeah, stay tuned for more stuff, and God bless.